Hello Evrmorecoin lovers, this is Raven Rebels with a video tutorial guide for front-end developers, JavaScript developers, Node.js developers who want to do stuff on Evrmore. It will take maybe 10 or 15 minutes and we will do a lot of stuff. And what will we do? Well, we will check out the tools that we have from Raven Rebels and see if we can use them. Raven Rebels, let's zoom in. The sole purpose of Raven Rebels is to create tools and tutorials for developers. We believe that adoption will come when the developers build stuff, and we build for Ravencoin. But since Evrmore is a fork of Ravencoin, let's see if we can use the tools that we have for Ravencoin for Evrmore. And we see here that we have 6 npm packages, and we will use the Ravencoin JavaScript wallet to see if we can interact with Evrmore, send tokens, receive tokens, send Ever tokens, and coins and so on. And we will also install a RPC Explorer and see if that works. But to do all that, we have to jump back again to Evrmore. Because at Evrmorecoin.org you find what you need. First you have to go click on the Get Evrmore core, takes you to GitHub where you download, depending on what operation system you're on, your OS. In our case we are on Windows right now, a 10-year-old Windows machine. Anyway, so we have already done that. And when you start the client, what you can do is go to Wallet Alternatives, open configuration file, and type in testnet equals 1 and restart the node. Then you get in test node. So we have done that and we synchronized the chain. But looky, we have a lot of other stuff here. What is that? Well, that is the settings you need if you are a developer, because you will use this core wallet only as a server. And how do you know what to type in, all those fancy stuff? Well, you go to ravenrebels.com, scroll down, and at the end you find the link to GitHub. Here and then on GitHub you go to a project called Ravencoin RPC proxy, because in the description of that project, scroll down, you find this, all the settings. So you copy them. So we copied all the settings and we went here. So that means that we now have this is now running as a server, so we can use RPC as a very secret password and username. Secret. Change that, of course. So let's start. Let's try. Let's first of all install Raven Rebels Ravencoin RPC package to see if we can communicate using RPC with this node. That's the first thing we want to do. So let's create make the demo. We create a demo project. And we open up Visual Studio Code, our favorite editor. You can use whatever editor you like. And in the terminal we say npm init, initialize an empty package. Nice. And then we go to scroll back to Raven Rebels, scrolly, and we start by taking this one, Ravencoin RPC. It's a package that helps us do RPC calls. So we click here on the installation guide, command, we paste it in, and now we have installed Ravencoin RPC. So let's grab some code and example code and see if we can run that. So we paste in the example code, and what does it do? Well, it tries to fetch asset gets data for an asset called Elvis. There will probably not be an Elvis token, but let's check. Secret. And here we go. We have to know the RPC port for Evrmore in testnet. And how do we get that information? Well, we go to Evrmorecoin.org, we click on documentation, and then we have summary tech info for devs. Here we are told that this is the port, 18,819 is the port we're going to use. We copy that one, we paste it in. So now we say, okay, this is the RPC stuff, and probably there's nothing called Elvis. Let's do with a simple thing. Promise equals RPC methods list assets. And the second argument, the first argument is the method, second argument is the parameters. We have no parameters. We only want to know. And then when this promise, first we ask them to promise something, and then we will what? We will only console log. So we will console log this out. Let's run it and see if it works. Looky. Now we have a little list of all the assets on testnet Evrmore. And to be fancy, we can say assets, and we say console log number of assets length, and we assets, and we see that we have 47 assets. Very nice, very nice. So RPC is the lowest level. You have to know all the fancy commands. Like there is a lot. If I just do this, there is so much you can do. And RPC is very powerful. Can do a lot of stuff. It can you can tell your node to stop, like quit, exit. You can dump, send every coin you have, and so on. That's why if you are using something that is publicly available and you are on internet, what you should do is, I scroll down again and I click on Raven Rebel's GitHub. We have something called Ravencoin RPC proxy. That's for another video, but that is a proxy that filters out all the dangerous method. So it's a whitelisted, only clean, nice, safe methods. So that is something you can expose to the internet. Anyway, now we have made our first script that interacts with the testnet. And in this little wallet that I have actually created a, let me see, manage assets overview. I have ugly token. Looky, ugly. Look at this guy. Sorry, so here it is, ugly. I have an ugly token. So now we want to play around with the JavaScript wallet, right? Of course we want to do stuff in JavaScript. So we go to npm and we can type in at Raven Rebels Ravencoin JS wallet. Here we go, here it is. And now let's do this one. So we install this in our demo project. And let's grab the example. In this case, we are using ECMAScript modules, the modern type of native modules for JavaScript. So we will create a file called wallet. No, it's boring. Wally is cool. Wally. MJS, as in modular JavaScript. And what does this code do? Let's start here. First, we import Ravencoin wallet, and we want to create one instance. Create instance of this wallet. Like that, and now we have an instance. And let's create a new wallet. How do we do that? We go to ravencoin.org/bip44. Here you can just click generate. Now you have a new wallet. To do a new wallet. And then we want to say that we want to point this wallet to our server. So it's Raven URL. RPC URL should be, what was it? 18, I can't remember, I'm so old. This is the one. We have to copy this URL. So this is the URL to our RPC. The node in RPC mode. And we have password should be secret. RPC username secret. So now we say, okay, this is a wallet, this is our 12 words. It's okay to have Raven test because Evrmore is a clone or a fork of Raven, so it will probably work. And then we say balance equals await wallet get balance. And it would be very strange if we had any balance because it's so new, right? So this should only node wallet.mjs get balance is not a function. We forgot await. We have to, it's asynchronous. So we await, create instance, and we have nothing. Let's change that. So we say wallet get receive address. I guess we have to await that as well. And the addy. So now we run it again and it will print out our receive address. Nice. So now we want to send some EVR tokens to this address. We can of course use it from our core Qt wallet here, but I want to do a shout out to hyperbit.app. This guy has lots of tools, and so you go to hyperbit.app and you click on Evrmore testnet faucet, how you say it in English. And here you can send yourself tokens. So we say, I want to have 100 EVR tokens. And it's on its way. Very nice, very nice. So if we are quick, we can say mempool equals await wallet get mempool. And we can then see if we have stuff in the mempool. We run it and we see it. We see that there is an incoming transaction in the mempool to us. That's nice. That's nice. And we can run it again to see when it's and now it's still there. It will soon be validated. And anyway, let's also send a, we can send to the same address because we're lazy. No, we have a new address. Take the new address. And then we say, let's send some transfer assets. We want to transfer one ugly token. And then we send 2 ugly tokens. So we get multiple unspent transaction outputs. So now there should be more stuff in the mempool. Here we see, now we have 2 ugly, because we have a balance of 100. So that has cleared. That is now in a block. So we see that we do have assets coming on its way. And let's remove the mempool and let's instead do assets equals await wallet get assets. And we do a little table with assets. And we see that we have Evrmore assets. That's all we have, and that's because we are still waiting on the mempool stuff. And soon we will have also have the ugly token. So let's see if we can use this wallet to also send stuff. There you go, ugly. We have 1 ugly. There will be another one on its way, so we will soon have 2 ugly. But maybe we can do this. We go to Hyperbit here. He has an address here, right? He wants us to, so that we can provide tokens to his faucet. But we can, of course, also send him 1 ugly. I think he is worth 1 ugly token. He should have that. So let's try to send 1 ugly token. How do we do that? Well, wallet send. And it takes an argument of type isend, which should have amount equals 1. Asset name, ugly. And what more? To address equals... So now we tell the wallet to like, hey, send 1 ugly to this address. And if everything goes okay, we get a result. That result is pretty large, but I think the result will have result.transaction ID. Yes. So we can console log ID of transaction. We just print out the transaction ID. So let's run this and see if it works. If we are able to send, yes we do. We have lots of error debug output here in this JS wallet. It's not finished yet, but it's on its way. So this is the transaction. Nice. So now we know that this was our transaction. So now we can send tokens from JavaScript, very few lines of code. We love that. I am not sure if you can send, actually not sure if you can send Evrmorecoins or not, because it's made for Raven. So let's see. I know that we have this thing that in the wallet we can set base currency to EVR, because it's not Raven, right? So what if we try to say, no, I want to send one EVR. Does that work? It might fail. It seems to work. Now we have transaction number 2. Let's save that as well. So now we have received EVR, we have received tokens, we have sent tokens, we have sent EVR. Now it's time for us to set up a little block explorer, and that's done in like a minute or two. How do we do that? Well, we go to Raven Rebels on GitHub and we check out the Rebel Explorer. Here we go, Rebel Explorer. We look at that one, we click copy link to the code, and now we can install it in the same directory. Git clone, you shouldn't really have like, okay, anyway, it works. Raven Reb. Okay, so we cloned it, and in the editor we can right click on the readme and say preview, so we can see the nice documentation. And we see that to be able to, before we install fancy settings, already done. We clone the Git repo, already done. Now we have to run install and run build. So we can do it from the editor. So in the terminal we say go to Rebel Explorer, npm install, and after that npm run build. It installs a lot of stuff, but we just have to wait, sip a bit on our coffee, and we are nice. So there we go, almost ready with all the dependencies. And now we do npm run build, so that we build it. And when that is done, we can start the server. And when you start the server, you will see this. When you start the server, it will automatically create a config file. So you start server, stop the server, update your config file. So here we got the config file. This is the default. If you don't do anything, it will start up for testnet of Ravencoin, and that's not what we want to have. Instead, we want to have our fancy, this one. You remember that guy, this one. So in the configuration, we say that the Raven URL is this, and secret, the username, the password, and we call this Evrmore testnet. It should be dark mode, and it should be that's a nice IPFS. So let's start again. Here we go. We are running. So now we have our own Explorer running on our own node. And let's check the transactions that we made. We saved them here in the source code. So this was transaction number 1. Should be here. Looky. This one sent one ugly. That was us. That was we us. And let's check the number 2, where we sent like one, I think we sent one EVR. We sent one EVR, yes, value 1. And this address should then be the address of, yes, this is the address for the, so there you could see your transactions. So maybe we should wrap it up. But what you could see is that you could use the RPC package without a problem to communicate with Evrmore. You can use Raven Rebel's Ravencoin JavaScript wallet to send, receive stuff, both tokens and EVR. And you can run the RPC Explorer. That's kind of cool. So let's see if we can see the ugly token before we end. We have to see the ugly token. Where are, looky here. And let's see. Ah, so nice with the thumbnails. Here we have it, the ugly token. There are 10,000 ugly tokens. So thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video or want to see other videos such as this, show some love, click that like button, drop a comment or engage in some way. It's always fun to see if anyone on this planet, on this earth, likes it or not. And happy coding. Thanks everyone. Bye.